Live session. Real-time trade action commentary. Scalping levels and zones from an educational point of view only. It's for traders that are looking to get it done today. If you're a new trader, we can help you get set up. If you're an experienced trader and you're looking for a wingman, in this case, it's your host, Saul. He is here on a daily basis. He is trading his own account. He is at risk. He's trading based on a price action trading strategy. He is here. 25-year trading veteran of the trading pits in Chicago. He has developed a trading strategy for himself that he teaches you, if you so choose, in his mentoring service in the Trading Academy. He can help tune up traders that are not doing as well as they would like in the Trading Academy. So check out the website. The website's TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. You should see a series of 3 charts in a separate chart window, 2 time frames for the S&P 500 E-mini, and a 30-year bond chart. Hey, Mark, welcome aboard. We're here on a daily basis. This session of the Trading Academy is a standalone session called Trade Along Live. This is where traders in the Academy put it all together and have the opportunity to work with Saul during the morning session. It's a standalone opportunity for individual traders out there to receive Saul's proprietary scalping levels. Saul as your wingman, providing real-time trade action, price action commentary on this morning's trade. And the feedback has been great when it comes to having a wingman for the morning session. The comments are that it really gives individuals, or those individuals, discipline. It gives them bumpers when it comes to the concept of focusing on this and not focusing on that. Saul's levels are calls them levels and zones, are the areas where Saul is looking at for this morning's trade to get involved. He gives them out to everybody in audio. These are fixed points for this morning's trade. And I will make a caveat or comment on that, which I think is critical to the concept of consistent profitability, is that Saul comes to his screens in the morning and he looks to create a trading advantage over other traders for himself by setting key levels for this morning's trade. That's what people are coming in here to receive from him. It's a pivot, price, and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot, which he calls support and resistance. Those are the go areas for Saul. He calls them his levels, but he also calls them his zones. And the reason he does that, and I think you'll appreciate this, is that the market has a temperament that it shows right after the cash open. And there's an opportunity for individuals like Saul to the betterment of the trading to understand what the temperament is of this morning's trade. See how the market is behaving. He sets his parameters for the morning session. In other words, he'll decide, generally he's got a 2-point stop, but he might expand that depending on market action. He's looking for a minimum trading profit of 2 points plus. He may expand that based on the reality of the market action. And he'll adjust and tweak his levels based on the price action coming into a level. Now that's something to behold and appreciate when you're coming into the service, because that's where the beef is. So we do this every day. If you like what we're doing, tell your friends. TradeAlongLive.com. TradeAlongLive.com is the link to come in and register. Check out the website, which I'll send out to everybody now. Now, this is the Trade Along Trading Academy website where you pick how to subscribe to the service or what to subscribe to. Take a moment and do that, because if you get exited from here, it's you're banned for life. So police yourselves. Take a few days, figure out what you like. If you want to do something in the academy, you want to be taught, you want to be schooled in the art of trading the S&P 500 E-mini. That's the academy side. Sol does the training, teaching, mentoring. You come in here as a proving ground and an access point to Sol on a daily basis, so check it out. Thank you. Hey, Rosemary, have you picked your opportunity? Let me know back in chat. I don't want you to get banned for life. Hey, Steve K, Timothy, Roop. Hey, Pat. Larissa, let us know. Kent, let us know. KG, Julio, Joel, James, how are you? Glenn N. Let us know, Glenn, what you want to do. Make sure you pick what you're going to sign up for. Check the website. George T. Hey, Frank, Edward, Dean, Crystal, Chris. Hey, Chad. Hey, Chad, I got to give you the ticket into the trading class. Anon, you have yours. I know Saul's setting that up again, so we'll get you in there and test you out. Hey, Joel. Got a nice tight group here. Hey, James. Nice.
All right, can everybody hear me all right? All right, let's give you our levels for this morning. Our pivot this morning is 46.67, 46.67. Support at 60, 52, 46, 37, 29. Resistance on the upside at 74, 80, 87, 92, 99. I'm being a little ambitious with all the numbers, but we're just going to do this morning and see what happens. We don't expect much to happen on the verge of tomorrow's holiday in the United States of Thanksgiving. So those of you who are celebrating, I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. And for those of you who are not celebrating, still happy Thanksgiving. You should be always Thanksgiving. Always giving thanks. Yeah, that's better. All right. So hope everybody has a great day tomorrow and Friday, because we're not going to be here Friday either. Those days are going to be really slow anyway. Again, I'll repeat the levels again. And if you look at the chat box in a little bit, you'll find the levels printed up there for you. Our pivot 67, support at 60, 52, 46, 37, 29. Resistance on the upside at 74, 80, 87, 92, and 99. A host of numbers this morning that might affect the market here. If you look at the chat box, those are the levels right there for you. So regards to numbers, I think they threw everything into a bowl today to make sure nobody can figure it all out. We got durable goods that already came out. GDP third quarter already came out. Initial claims already came out. Retail inventories already came out. Wholesale inventories already came out. So at 7:30, and now at 9 o'clock at the top of the hour, we have new home sales that are going to be released in addition to personal income, consumer sentiment. So we have another slew of sentiment numbers. And if you are so lucky to be trading late this afternoon, the FOMC minutes are going to be released on top of everything else. Those are going to be released later in the afternoon at 1 o'clock Chicago time. So those are the numbers that you should be concerned about, especially the FOMC. I mean, they're talking about, what could or could not happen with, or what they're talking about as far as interest rates are concerned. So that is always going to be a focus of this market, at least recently, especially with the situation with the transition of transitory inflation number. The market is very concerned in regards to that. So be a little bit careful as we come down here and test the 60 area again. You got filled on the bottom and take some profits. Okay, we're not. This is like right out in the morning. That first bar is always a little bit, tenuous. A little extra action always occurs on that first bar. So we always say, be careful there on that first bar, or take a little bit less than what you want, especially since you got filled on both ends here. But either way, see how it trades and then just trade around it. But yeah, so it's it's a full day of fundamental news that's affecting the market. We had a slew of them already come out this morning, as you can see here at 7:30. They kind of broke it down a little bit. They were in a tight little range as we're getting a nice rotation here against our 60 area. Again, take a little bit. It's a little bit crazy. The first bar is a little bit, it is what it is. You know, if you've been around here, you know what we're talking about. And then, so we see we have a couple numbers this afternoon. I mean, at 1 o'clock, sorry, at 9 o'clock. And the big number that everybody is talking about in regards to, what they want to do with it is obviously and we're getting a nice rotation here again against our 60 area. Have to be a little bit patient there, take some profit. I mean, obviously, if you're trading more than one contract, right, you're taking a little bit off. But if you're trading more than one contract, you are able to scale out and then keep some for this move finally that we got up here. All right, so nice rotation there against the 60 area. Is kind of yesterday's messing around area that kind of hung there for a bit, and a nice rotation back up here. 67 is our pivot. Let's see what it wants to do up here. Coming back up here, if you're able to hold on to it till here, that's where you would probably want to get out. Nice little rotation there off of that area for us. So nice little trade there if you did get in. And trying to see what it wants to do here against our pivot. So nice little trade there for us. And a nice little trade there if you sold our blue band area up here as well. All right, so we're getting a nice little rotation off of our levels for this shortened holiday day. And, like I said, I wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving for those of you who are going to participate. And obviously, on the other side of the pond, I don't think there's a Thanksgiving day. I think you guys have a nice full day of work. Good or bad? I don't know. It's a full day of work, I guess. Here we're going to be watching football, boring Bears game. Two of the worst teams in the league attacking each other. Got to be. That should be okay. Two of the worst teams in the league. We'll see. We'll see. So next level on the upside resistance is up at the 74 area. So nice rotation there off of the support level down below. And a nice little push up here. You got, I said, probably took some profits against the pivot area if you did. And now we'll see what it wants to do up here. It comes up and tests the 74. Do like 74, but for different reasons. All right. Anybody have any questions? Please feel free to ask in the chat box area. We do like questions. So now we have a few numbers at the 9 o'clock: new home sales, personal income, consumer sentiment. In addition to the things that already came out, let's see if I can give you some information on those. If I can find what those numbers were this morning. If you're seeing what's going on with the lira there in Turkey, they're absolutely going nuts there with their devaluation of the lira over there. It's been like, it's not a good time to live in Turkey, I'll tell you that much. Let's see if I can find the all right, it got up to 71 and change and rotated off. It's getting yesterday was very, very choppy. It was very choppy kind of trade, but I think we did okay. We were trying to express being patient and waiting for the opportunities, and hopefully you did that. Coming back quickly down here to the lows, so very, very whippy trade. Let's see here if we can yields on the treasuries, 2s, 5s, and 7s have all continued to go up a little bit. Let's see, this the 5-year is trading at 131. It was around for most of the summer. Yeah, most of the summer was trading around the 80. So we've had about half a point jump in the 5-year right. Again, remember I said that the short-term market is where the Fed controls things, and even with the half a point increase in the 5-year rates, bond market for the most part has stayed the same. So we can see here we have a flattening of the curve because the shorter term is catching up to the longer term. So again, all of these things point to a little concern in regards to what the Fed might do. Where is those? On S&Ps here on their lows. Again, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box area. We do like questions. and we'll answer them if we can. If you have any questions about how we do things, what we do have a education course here that encompasses what we're trying to do here. Tells you how to figure out our levels, how to come up with the price action opportunities, how to scale in, how to scale out, so that you can maximize your profit potential. And so all those things are part of our education course, and a little bit of psychology, which always can't hurt. So we have jobless claims came in at 199, the lowest since 1969, considering the fact that we've been, up high all the time here, but slowly been coming down lately. The big question remains for labor market remains the scope of the increasing labor force participation. That's the problem. So it was December of the beginning of 20. The initial claims were at 800,000, all-time highs almost. Well, and then now they're down to 199. So that's since 2020, beginning of January of 2020. All right, so we have this number that's going to be released here, and a couple numbers are released here in 15 minutes. And we'll see what comes of there. I'll be right back. All right. Again, the market seems to be under a little bit of pressure, trying to absorb all these numbers that are coming out today. And some of them obviously are okay. We'll see. WTI rose more than 4% over the last 24 hours to retake the $79 a barrel level after Biden administration announced plans to release 50 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Reserve, along with China, Japan, India, South Korea, and the UK. While the move was meant to lower prices, the volumes announced were much less than the market was expecting and would need to be sustained over a longer period of time. Many of the barrels will also need to be returned to refineries who buy them, leaving traders forecasting higher balances. So nothing they do is good. That's what they're saying. It doesn't matter if they say something that's going to supposed to help. Nah, they can twist it around, so it doesn't mean anything. Gotta love these people. Okay, we do have a couple of numbers coming out at in about 10 minutes here, so let's keep that in mind here if you're trading. The support level on the downside we have is 52 area, and they're just kind of range bound here a little bit. They did not get us up to our 74 area, which was kind of annoying. Too bad. And now we're just kind of staying here on these lows, looking for the 52. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. Holiday shopping trends are on track to make a comeback this year with 158 million people, nearly 2 million more people than last year expected to shop from Thanksgiving Day through to Cyber Monday. Monday is Monday. See, there's Thanksgiving Day, then there's, I don't know, like Black Friday, then there's small shop Saturday or something, small whatever. They got a day for shopping, a name for everything for shopping. So that's kind of nice, I guess. Let's see. Estimate the National Retail Federation estimates consumers will shell out an average of almost $1,000 on holiday sales during November and December. And those levels, it would mean a growth rate of about 8.5% and 10.5% over the 2020 totals. So 75% of American adults will conduct e-commerce through big retailers like Amazon and Walmart, which will be similar to or increase relative to the same numbers as last year. However, some still prefer brick and mortars for holidays. Among those shopping on Thanksgiving, 65% are likely to do so in stores, up 50% from last year. How do these people know anything? I don't know. Okay, whatever. If you're going shopping, wait a day or two. All right, the game in double bottom there around the 56. We got 52. Got a couple numbers coming out here in about 2 minutes. See what they do to the market. And then the bigger anticipatory number that the market is going to be focusing on will be late this afternoon at 1 o'clock Chicago time with the release of the FOMC minutes. That's going to be a big one for the market to be focused in on. So that'll be released at 1 o'clock Chicago time. Again, the volume, remember, it's pre-holiday day, with tomorrow being an off day, extended long vacation. Probably Friday is going to be exceptionally slow. So obviously won't be here for tomorrow or Friday. And today, just be careful. Yeah, everybody is coming over tomorrow. Well, the ones who have like in-laws, one of them is doing it at her house, so not everybody, but it's okay. She's asking for a lot of help from me, so it's all right. As long as I can give her some help, that's fine. I take little things now. She needs my help? Oh, great, I'll help. Even the one from New York came in town. All right. After 35 years of selling merchandise for $1, the Dollar Tree store is raising. Oh, I'm sorry. The number is going to be out in 5 more minutes. I misread the dollar store is going to be raising its standard point to $1.25. The change will take place by the end of April and follows hot inflation numbers over the last 6 months. Despite acknowledging those market conditions, Dollar Tree said its move was not a reaction to short-term or transitory market conditions, not a reaction to short-term, but would rather help mitigate historical high costs like freight, distribution, and wage increases. That's hilarious, actually. So, by the way, I went to this Dollar Tree store one time. I went nuts in there. I mean, it's really scary. I mean, everything's literally $1. I mean, I'm like, is this $1? I mean, I kept asking, how much is this $1? Really $1? I mean, it was bad news for me. I think I spent a lot of money on junk because it's only $1. Those dollars add up really fast when you keep throwing stuff into the cart. But I love that store. I've only been in there a couple times because I think I'm banned from going there. They won't let me go. When I came back, they're like, you can't go there again. I go, you're right, I can't. This is pretty scary. But yeah, I just threw everything into the cart because I go, is this $1? You ever been there, Tim? Oh, I mean, you're yeah. It's not like I like shopping, but this was an experience. Definitely an experience. I would love the 5 and dime. No, I wouldn't love the 5 and dime. Like I said, I throw everything in the cart. I was like, this can't be $1. I've got to buy this. This is $1. I came home with so much junk, but it was fun. All right, we can see here we're setting up for if we do get below the, I don't know, maybe the 55 area, we might rotate down to the 52 area. All right, coming up here to our blue band, but we do have a number coming out here in about a minute now. This time I know it's a minute. So yeah, so great store, the old Dollar Tree store. All right, let's see what this number is going to do for us here. A couple numbers, and we'll see if we get any opportunity here. And then I don't really expect much after that until 1 o'clock Chicago time, where the FOMC minutes are going to be released, and that could trigger some volatility. But remember, there's not, especially later this afternoon, there's not going to be many traders trading. So if the number or the statement comes out of whack, you know, it's going to create some extreme volatility one way or the other, and hard to, you have to know when to trade, right? That's one of the things that we talk about in our education courses, when to trade. Probably not a good time to trade with the light and volatility and the fact that there's a volatile number coming out. So, all right, if you did take a shot there with the blue band, obviously you're getting paid off here. Shot right on the number. Again, not for everybody. We explained the risk involved with numbers, and if you are, as long as you understand the risk, then it's up to you whether you want to take the trade or not. That's all I'm going to say. Not everybody trades the same. Not everybody has the same risk tolerance. So we explain the risk to you, and then you have to make those determinations on your own as to whether you should want to take the trade or not on the heels of a release of a fundamental number as the market pops up here a little bit. So they faked everybody out. I love the fake out move one way and then rotation. This just screws everybody. As we swiftly come up here to our 74 area, maybe. As soon as I said that, look what it did. Shouldn't have said anything. Should not have said anything. I scared it off. Okay, now we're getting up here to the level up here at 74 area. Okay. See what it wants to do now. All right, nice little rotation there against our 74. Yeah, nice little quick trade there for us. All right, a little bonus for the holiday. A little bonus for the holiday trade. You gotta love 74. I mean, seriously, it's just like a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. Again, your orders have to be in place, right? You gotta have your orders in place so you don't cogitate, think about it. Maybe, the market's going too fast. I can't, maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should, It's not, this is, it's like put your trade in there and then see what happens, right? Because you start thinking too much, then, put your profit target in place there for you, and boom, boom. Look for the next opportunity, take your profits, move on. a good thing we're making a little bit of money here this morning because it's a holiday. You don't want to. The worst days I had, and it happens all the time, the worst days that you can lose money is a Friday, right? I mean, that's definitely the worst day that you can lose money. And it's happened to me multiple times where you lose money on Friday and you can't do anything about it till Monday and you're just stewing. I mean, I stewed because you're thinking about it. And especially if it was a terrible day, right? Just the worst thing that can happen is losing money on a Friday. And now we have this long weekend. So we definitely don't want to, so if you made a little bit of money this morning against our levels, that's great. Keep it, have a great weekend, and and then let's think about this when we come back on Monday. That's my philosophy. Well, my philosophy is you got to love 74. That's all I can always say. You got the blue banders and you got the 74ers, fours. All right. Now we continue to rally here. Next level of resistance we have is up at the 80 area. I guess these numbers weren't that bad. All right. But they did break it down, right? They initially broke it and then rallied it. So, that's why they all fake you out there. That's why I don't like to trade numbers for that reason right there. You think you think you want to jump on board and start selling it. And then all of a sudden they put the brakes on, come flying all the way back. And that's what that's what you don't want to do. So that's one good example of why we don't like to trade. That's why we don't like to trade fundamental news. You think you're good, and then all of a sudden you're, oops, not good. All right, next level resistance we have is up here at the 80 area. Again, like if you made money and you're happy and it's Friday and, boom, boom, you can boom, boom out of here, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a trading terminology, trading term or nothing, but, we can make it one. Since this is our room, we can do whatever we want. All right, we continue to rally here. Again, they thought maybe. See, the other flip side to these numbers is that, it could come out what they was expecting. It could come out a little bit worse than expected. And they sold it off initially, but then the other group of people who read these things say, oh, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it would. It could have been a lot worse. So you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. So let's just buy. So why do you have a number, an expectation of a number, and then it comes out worse than expected and say, oh, it wasn't that bad. Even though it was bad, it wasn't that bad. And so they reverse it and rotate back up to the upside. And that's what you got here. Bond market, like I said, definitely having issues with flattening. Bond market rally a little bit here. So let's see. The retail news flow did not stop coming yesterday as flurry of earnings dominated the headlines. Shares of Gap slumped 20% after hours after slashing its outlook as COVID-related factory closures led to significant product delays, while Nordstrom's collapsed 27% on labor costs, cuts into profits and sales. Abercrombie and Fitch was also among the biggest losers in the sector, and the mall retailer feels investors' wrath amid the worries about margins and slowing growth. Another interesting story that made waves was a remark from Best Buy CEO on post-earnings interview. She told CNBC that the rise of organized crime is a horrible change for the trajectory of business. Trajectory of business and electronics retailer is working hard to try to stem loosely organized bands of thieves who have targeted the firm's locations. She also noted that Best Buy was among the many retailers who have faced a spike in these attacks and has put measures in place to prevent the theft, such as locking up certain products and working with local law enforcement. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen those pictures of the videos of these gangs running into a store, just stealing God knows what in like 2-3 minutes, and then jumping, just running back out. It's like nuts. So what's this world coming to? Seriously, they did that in a Louis Vuitton store, I think in the city in Chicago or someplace around here. It was totally crazy. I mean, just absolute mayhem. I mean, just ridiculous. It's just, I mean, you know, like she said, why do you want to have like a store? I mean, and then you got the people who are going to the people who are actually shopping in there. You know, they're getting, you know, who wants to be there when one of those things are going down? Even though most of them are unarmed and they're just taking it's scary stuff. Ah, man, videos of that stuff going on. It's like crazy. Absolutely out of control. We are living in a weird time. A very weird time. Mad Max, it's true. Can we repeat the lows in the chat for if they're up there, if we can get them? If not, I'll tell them. There they are. Thank you very much. Oh, I have to call you, don't I, Mark? I will call you today. I'm sorry. I forgot yesterday. My daughter came in town from New York. It's like, she didn't talk to me, but hey, but she was in town. NASA launched a spacecraft that will crash into an asteroid, the biggest test yet of the agency's role as planetary defender. Whew. A 1,200-pound refrigerator-sized spacecraft will trek around the sun to slam into a small asteroid at 15,000 miles per hour next year. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? I mean, it is like movie stuff, right? I mean, these things are moving so fast and they can just pluck them off. Refrigerator size, 1,200-pound mega ton of energy. Crazy? Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Awesome stuff. All right, we're trading down here. We're coming back here to our pivot. Blue band, pivot. If you're still trading. I mean, like I said, if you made money, you're good to go, you're happy. Trying to give us something here against our pivot. All right, they kind of just ran through a little bit, but again, not a surprise this time of the day with the market conditions, and then everything's quiet. They're just flipping back and forth like crazy. That's what they do. That's what they do in these markets these days because of the lack of volatility. All right, this coming back up here if you did take it. Okay, anybody have any questions? Feel free to ask. Like I said, we got in here this morning for the release of these numbers, and there are going to be some other numbers that are going to be released later on today. At 1 o'clock Chicago time is the release of the FOMC minutes, which could be a market mover. So if you did trade the pivot here and blue band, had to take a little bit of heat, but the market came back really quick, so it wasn't a terrible move. Again, depending on how you're trading it, how much size you're trading. Hopefully, if you've been trading bigger, you're trading smaller now. As if you made money on the first few trades that we had this morning, of course. So. All right, nice rotation there. Hopefully everybody is doing okay today on a pre-holiday trade. And like I said, I think we have had a few nice winners, so we can't complain here too much. I mean, we could, everybody could complain, but. All right, back up here, kind of hanging around our pivot area now. Both sides of our pivot, both sides of our blue band, very, very quiet. Probably going to be in this little range here for the rest of the day, I would assume. Kind of hanging within yesterday's range. See what it wants to do. We gave you levels on the downside, gave you levels on the upside. But again, it's pre-holiday, so hopefully we did good this morning, and we will bank a little bit of cash into the weekend, into the long weekend. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask right now. It's a good time to ask questions and put them in the chat box area. I'll be able to answer them for you. You too, Chad. Have a great one. Sure. No problem, Teresa. Therese. We are trading mini S&Ps here. Which are equity futures. We are looking for opportunities to scalp the market, which means we are trying to find areas to get in whether they be long or short, based on the work that we do, based on the education course that we have, plus the opportunities that the market gives us, price action opportunities. And so the combination of the price action opportunities plus the levels that we gave out, and if you look at the chat box area, hopefully we'll have the levels up there. Those are areas of inflection that we believe that the market will give us an opportunity to trade against. Resistance would be an area where the market won't go up anymore, or at least give us a chance to scalp. Now, scalping is taking bits and pieces out of the market. We're not trying to get like 10 points out of a trade. We're just trying to get 2 to 3 or 4 points, depending on how your entry point is and what your risk tolerances are. Each point in the S&Ps is $50 for one contract. So we're trying to get about 2 points on a trade, which is doable for the most part. And that's about $100 per contract that you're trading. So we're trying to find these areas of trading futures, equity futures, and trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows in the market. That's basically what scalping is all about. We're scalping the market based on the areas that we believe the market will give us an opportunity to rotate and give us a chance to get long or short, and then try to be able to capitalize on those moves. And so not exactly stocks, but it's futures. And I think it's stocks are a totally different animal because you're, usually buying and holding for a bit. Here, we're trading in and out of the market. We like to average about 4 to 5 trades a day. We focus more on the morning hours. I think 4 to 5 trades is a good number of trades to do. You're not trying to overtrade, because if you start getting into the overtrade situation, then you are basically just giving your brokerage house a lot of commissions. We try to keep that to a minimum. We don't like to give commissions out. We don't like to overpay on the commissions, I should say. So that's what we do here on an everyday basis. We used to be on the floor of the exchange, but obviously due to COVID, our focus has moved more to our home. My basement is where I have my work area. So we used to have we used to be on the floor and get all that commotion, yelling at each other and screaming at each other. We don't do that anymore because we are refined now. Is that what we call ourselves? Refined? I don't know. So it's not quiet. But that's why I actually started this trading room, because when I was upstairs in my office, when I came off the floor where I was trading on the floor, with other traders and stuff, it was loud and, exciting. And then I came up to my office and it was just so boring. And so I needed to get back into some semblance of noise. And so we did the room, but it was on the floor, so that was okay. But now you have me, and sometimes I don't like to talk so much. And so it's quiet sometimes, especially when there's no business going on. And so we're looking for about 4 or 5 trades a day. Obviously, there's going to be times where we get more than that because of the volatility in the market and the action the market gives us on any given day. Sometimes we'll get more, sometimes we'll get less. But it is what it is, and again, we focus on the morning hours. That gives us with our dynamics that we teach and the dynamics in the market that how it trades in the morning, they kind of fit with what we try to do. So first couple hours, 2-3 hours in the morning gives us our opportunities to trade, and we the afternoon trade has got a different set of rules that we like to stay away from, because it gets a little bit sticky and slippery sometimes in the afternoon. But it is what it is. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of what we did. Anybody else who has any questions, please feel free to ask. A little overview of what we do here on an everyday basis. So the levels that we gave out, did you get the levels this morning in the chat box area there? And the levels that we gave out this morning are kind of there. They are for you. They're a guide to the day. We have our pivot there, and we have those levels that we traded off of. Like we got short at 74 earlier, and we had a nice rotation to the downside. We bought the 60 area, and it had a nice rotation to the upside off of that. So next level of resistance as the market trades up a little bit is up at the 80 area. And again, everybody's got different risk tolerances. So how you get into them, how you exit them, what your stops, and all of that is dependent on each individual. And so we work with each individual on a separate basis to try to maximize their profit potential with some of these trades. So we do this every day here. You know, we obviously have been trading for a while, so that's what I do. And we also have the education course if this stuff interests you and you want to take your trading to, if you're an experienced trader and you want to add some new concepts and ideas, this is the place to do it. If you've never done this before, that's even better because you don't get clouded with all these ideas that you've learned in the past. And we try to focus in on a couple of concepts here. And you just focus in on those instead of thinking, believe me, the part that's the worst for me is that I got all these like different ideas that I've had because I've been trading for so long, and I think, oh yeah, I should, if I stick to my rules, I'm a very happy person. But I got a lot of rules in my mind. So. But as you can see here, as the morning goes on here, you see the volatility kind of shrinking a little. Bond market perking up here on those numbers that came out. So we'll see what that entails or how that deals with it. But again, we are on the verge of the holiday weekend, so got to be careful as far as the opportunity, how much opportunity is going to be out there. But I think we've had at least 5 trades today, depending on how aggressive you were. So we can't complain about that. Okay, well, we inched our way up here to 79. I don't know if those of you who got in at 79, if you did or didn't, but if you did, that's good. I did not have 79. I had them up here at the half an 80 area. Just teasing me now. Just teasing me now. Got up to a quarter there. All right, well, that was the end of the bar here. So the quarter is, be a little bit careful there if you got the 79 area. Yeah, I'm sorry, the 80 area. If you're still trading, like I said, if you made some money this morning and good to go, good to go. Oh no, we are live here. We are definitely. How do we trade delayed? I wish we could trade delayed. We are definitely live here. These are live market trading. This is, if you look on the charts from right to left, this is the equity futures, mini S&Ps trading. It's a 5-minute chart, an hourly chart is the middle chart, and a bond chart. This bond chart on the left. Yeah, no, I'm not on the beach. No, I'm not on the beach. I wish it could be delayed. Delayed. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Be delayed. Now, these are live charts with live trades. If you got in at 79 there, you got paid off very nicely against our 80. And again, everybody scales in differently. All right, it got up to, I had the 79 and a half there. Of course, I didn't get filled because it went up to a quarter. But if you did get in at 79, you're done good. You're done really good. So that's why the 80 now is a little bit tenuous, a little bit more dangerous than it was a little bit ago. Nope, not on the beach, not in Chicago. It is actually, today's a really nice day. It's going to be, the high is going to be like 50, right? And for some of you who live in California, that's like, are you crazy? That's a high, and that's nice. Yeah, well, tomorrow's high, it's going to be 30. So, and we got wind chill coming in. We got wind chill back. The wind chill's back. Yeah, windy. It's going to be, yeah, today. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. My friends golfed yesterday, and they asked me to go. I said, sorry, no. And not when they didn't get above 50. Sorry. Great, Tehran. That's fantastic. I'm glad you are here. And hopefully, if you've traded before, if you haven't traded before, welcome. We scalp the market. I don't know if you heard my explanation before. See, this is what California people do. They think it's 50 degrees and they put a snowman up there. That's what California people do. They think 50 is like snowman weather. Only California people would do that. Mark, have you ever seen snow? On TV. Well, first of all, I'm not trading stocks. I'm trading equity futures. So it's the S&P 500, but it's a it's a futures contract. So what made me trade these? I've been trading futures my whole life. I guess I could say that. And I used to trade in the bond pit when they had a bond pit, and when things started to go electronically, I started changing over to markets that I trade well technically, because I use a lot more technical analysis now to find my entry points on my trades. And so consequently, I had to make the transition from trading on the floor to trading. Just a minute here. I'm trying to take a little bit of. All right, there we go. Poof. I got my rotation there. I left my 79.5 in there. I don't know why. It was very scary. Okay, so I had to. But anyway, I made my transition there from the floor to trading, electronically. And then I used to trade the bond market, like I said, and we used to trade the bonds in this room, the bond market in this room. But the bonds over the last, ever since 2007 or 8, whenever the financial crisis spurred its head, the bond market is not a good trade, because basically the Fed is controlling that with all the bond buying that they're doing, and it's not a good trade anymore. It doesn't trade well technically. So I've decided we had to find a market that trades well technically, and the S&P market, the S&P 500, or the minis, right? The minis are a smaller contract than the big 500, but anyway. So we started trading equity markets because they trade technically well, and they give us a good chance for us to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market, and to make a little bit of money trying to find opportunities that trade like markets that trade well technically. There are other markets. You can trade the oil market, the grain market, all others, FX, so on, financials. But I think that this market trades well technically, and we kind of just stick to these areas that that you can make money, markets that you can make money, instead of trading markets that I also stick to one contract, one individual market, instead of trying to run myself thin there with a whole bunch of other markets to trade, because at least I know when numbers are going to be released, when fundamental numbers are going to be released, when obviously we're not always going to be privy to geopolitical situations that occur on the spur of the moment, because that's always going to be a shock to the market. But we have constraints against that too, where we always put our stops in place to make sure we don't let that get us in trouble. So that's what we do here on an everyday basis. And if we also, anything that I say, levels that we give out, trades that we might get ourselves into. As a taught experience, we show you where to find these opportunities, why they're there, how to trade them, how to get into them, how to get out of them to try to maximize profits for each individual, because everybody trades a little bit differently. Not everybody trades the same. When I was trading on the floor, and there were a whole bunch of traders there, some great traders. I could never mimic them. I could never do what they did, never. But I did. I got my own niche. Everybody has to find their own niche and what works for them, and then capitalize on those opportunities when they're there based on your individual risk tolerance. All right, market coming up here to this 80 area again. Like I said, we already took that opportunity there. It's a lot riskier this time around based on the fact that for the other reasons that I gave earlier, that it kind of inched up there, tested the 79, you guys made money on that. And if you did take the 80 or the 80 and a half here, you getting paid off here very nicely. It's a beautiful thing when it works nice like this. It really is. I can't complain today. I could always complain, but it's not worth the aggravation to complain. It's like, you always got to remember, I keep telling you, these days when everything's working, we've had a couple of days this day where I'm giving you this speech. These days where everything's working perfectly, makes up for those days that we get run over, but you won't remember the days that it's worked out perfectly. Okay? You won't, because you always are remembering the bad days. It's just nature of habit, right? It's just nature. That's what happens. So try to remember these good days when everything's working out, with you're taking no heat. It's working out beautiful. And that way, when we do have our stops and get stopped out, hey, it's all right. Doesn't matter, because you're going to have another trade that's going to work out. So, all right. All right, Mark, you have an open invitation. I want to invite you when there's a snowstorm here, but unfortunately the planes won't be allowed to land or take off because you can't see the runways. So I'm going to have to make sure I get I expand your girls' knowledge of weather by making sure they come to a nice cold place once in a while. All right, nice trade there. If you did get in at the top end of the 80, the bottom end of the 80, the middle part of the 80, whatever part of the 80 you got into, you should have done okay. You don't even know what snow dogs are. Okay, so stop it. Stop. Now you're talking stuff that you don't know anything about. You don't even know there's not even such a thing. Okay, snow dogs. All right, so now I can tell you that hopefully you did okay today. Hopefully we did fine. If you piggyback some of our trades, or if you were listening and used our levels, used our price action opportunities, I think you hopefully did okay. Like I said, all day of it, this is on the verge of a long weekend. There is one number that's going to be released later on this afternoon that could be a big market mover. It's 1 o'clock Chicago time. It is the release of the FOMC minutes from the last meeting, which again, the market is so geared to interest rates and what they're going to do and what they're not going to do that that could be a little bit of a market mover. So we don't like to trade numbers, not our best. I don't like to trade numbers. I know there's a couple of traders out there that love to trade the numbers. I just don't like trading. I just didn't do well. Every time I took a position out when the number is going to be released, seems to be always wrong. So I decided that's not worth it anymore. That and FOMC stuff is not my favorite trade to participate in. So, but doesn't mean that you don't have to participate in it. That's a totally individualized thing here, right? So that is for sure not always Just because I don't do it doesn't mean you don't have to do it, right? I always said everybody does their own thing here. But our 80 worked very nicely. Our levels have worked very nicely today. Hopefully some of you have taken advantage of them. And like I said, the best thing you can do today is make money on the verge of a long weekend. Well, there you go. I knew you were out of here early today, so, well, good for you. You have a great weekend. Have a great Thanksgiving. And again, thanks for helping me out, you and Don. Don's already on his tractor someplace, getting ready. He probably has to go catch the turkey. Yes, I will. I'm sorry I forgot to call you yesterday. I'll give you a call later on. You do, Therese. Thank you. All right. Again, be patient, wait for your opportunities, and understand that there's going to be a number going to be released later. It's a very thin trade, but hopefully it did okay this morning with our levels. And if you see in the chat box area, you see the levels that are out there for you. Yeah, get back in a bit.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes for those that are interested in signing up for Sol services. Broken down into two segments. The first segment is the Trade Along Live session that goes from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Right now it's 10:46 a.m. on November 24th, 2021. Everything we do here is for educational purposes only. Nothing is to be taken as direct trading or investment advice. Second opportunity is to join Sol in private class, learn his trading methodology, if you so choose, his price action strategy. You could have your strategy tuned up based on Sol's trading education. He does that in private session in a private Zoom room. What I'll do is I'll send out to everybody right now an opportunity to review our website to see what's offered. TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com, TradeAlongTradingAcademy.com. For those that are interested in having some of your friends join, I'll give you another link. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com. So we're here every trading day during this Trade Along Live session, the morning session. In the afternoon, Sol schedules individuals that are part of his course and his mentoring work for class time. He does that in a private Zoom classroom with all the bells and whistles of Zoom. The opportunity to go as a new trader or an experienced trader that's looking to get tuned up. The goal here is how do we help you develop your trading skill to the best of your ability, with the goal of looking for consistent profitability. Both sections of this academy, Trade Along Live session, and obviously the class time is all educational for educational purposes only. And again, nothing is to be taken as direct trading or investment advice. So this morning's session, you get the real-time trade action commentary, Sol's scalping levels and zones, and the opportunity to have Sol as your wingman. It's also a great introduction for those that are coming in as guests, welcome guests, and then the opportunity to choose which direction you'd like to go based on your development of your opportunity to trade. So I'll be in the background if you need me. Appreciate you being here. And again, if you like what we're doing, tell your friends. TradeAlongLive.com, TradeAlongLive.com.